Equality of the ring. DEI.
The ring.
DEI of the ring. If they can do it, we can do it too, of the ring. So I guess we can just go through sort of the stuff that we cared about, right?
Yeah, I guess we could go through the whole card. It wasn't that long.
Well, let's go through some positives. Gunther won. Beat Randy Orton.
Yeah,
I feel
which was a controversy too, because Randy did kick.
His shoulders were up.
Yeah,
and that wasn't part of the plan either, because if you noticed, because I was watching it and I'm like, all right, if they show the replay but it's from a different angle, that wasn't supposed to be part of it.
Yeah.
So I feel like they may go back to that. But did a lot of people notice that? Because I felt like
they did, and they even made a interview with Triple H afterwards about it.
Saying what?
There's some controversy that's going on with that Randy kicked out. And, he was saying from his point, it seemed like Gunther won. Then he just rambled on to, how great Gunther is rising up.
This is where Triple H fucks himself. And I feel like this whole thing is going to be a lot of railing on Triple H, because the booking of this whole pay-per-view really fucking annoyed me, because again, it goes into that whole thing of the thing that I believe that they're just gaslighting us, and there's not really this big change. The Paul Levesque era is just kind of the big change. The selling of it, I realize, is actually not just to sell WrestleMania. It was also to convince fans that, hey, don't worry, just because Vince is gone doesn't mean that it's going to get bad, or we're going to, go a whole different direction, or we're going to go into a better direction because Vince is gone. And I think that was all the gaslighting, because when you look at something like that, right? Gunther beating Randy Orton should have been completely decisive. They were trying to go with some roll-up victory for Gunther. And look what happened. It ends up getting fucked up, and now it looks like Gunther didn't really win the King of the Ring, which shouldn't be happening with Gunther. He should have fucking dominated Randy, which he did in most of the match.
Yeah.
But he should have, the ending should have been Randy on his fucking back, 1, 2, 3. No roll up. Get the fuck out of here. And it was because Triple H wanted to protect Randy Orton.
Yeah.
So that's what happens.
You gotta protect Randy. Well, Randy should have
what?
Randy should have never been there, to be honest.
The protection for Randy Orton was that he had a fucked up knee and a fucked up back.
Yeah.
That's the protection, is he lost because of that. Otherwise, he's the legend killer. He would have definitely won. He's the Viper. That's the protection.
I just don't see it needing to be Randy in the King of the Ring.
I agree with you.
So for him to be the one there, I guess he's supposed to be the top pillar, and it's supposed to be some kind of torch given to Gunther at that point.
But it wasn't, because it was a roll-up victory. And we all know how the roll-up victory is supposed to be portrayed.
Yeah.
It's that it's almost a fluke. He got one out. He just fucking inched it out.
And to be honest,
that's not Gunther.
Gunther already chose who he was going to go against, and it was for the World Heavyweight title. So that's Damian Priest.
Yeah. Or possibly Drew. I hope it's going to be Drew, actually. I actually want him to win in Scotland.
Just to lose again? To Gunther?
I don't know if... yeah, I guess Gunther has to go up. He's ready.
Yeah.
Where else does he go if he doesn't win?
Just sits there.
Just sits there. Yeah, I just feel like there was a lot of that, and we're going to get through most of the card here, but there was a lot of that kind of booking. And I think we used to call it, or the podcasters back in the day used to call it 50-50 booking.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's a wrestling term or a podcast term, but I get it, where it's like he tried to protect both of them. I'm going to try to protect Gunther. I'm going to try to protect Randy. And in the end, nobody gets protected.
Yeah.
It should have, again, that's all I'm going to say. It should have been a complete, decisive dominant victory over Randy Orton.
Who's to say it's not all for show and it's for storyline?
The reason why I don't believe that is because what I said earlier is when they showed the replay, they tried to cover it up. If usually when they do that and it's a fluke victory and, oh, did he get the shoulder up? I thought they were going to point that out with Cole because it was so obvious. His whole body was turned to the left.
Storylines now tends to not be directly in your face, so it could be something. The one thing I could say about this Paul Levesque era that's fucking up, what Vince never did was have interviews after every fucking show,
after every match.
Yeah, bro, like be behind the scenes, bro. We don't need to see you, we don't need to hear from you. It'll probably make the show a little better. But for me to be someone that was under Vince's wing my whole life watching wrestling, I would just assume because there was an interview about it afterwards, it's supposed to portray some sort of storyline.
You rarely saw interviews with Vince talking about the show.
Yeah.
That'd be weird, actually.
It is.
For him. He'd only do that if there's something crazy happened.
Right.
Yeah. Like something like that was off script kind of happened. To
this day, he's probably only been in 18 photos and 2 documentaries.
Talking about his own product. Yeah. You're right. Yeah. I think Triple H is taking a page from Tony Khan by doing that. I feel like I don't know who did it first, but
maybe it's in the TKO deal. Maybe they're trying to pull this whole UFC
because Dana does it too. Yeah. I don't know. It's sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know how much it works for UFC. I don't know if it's a must watch.
It's a must thing in UFC just because it's like boxing. UFC and boxing is damn near close to close when it comes to post box reviews.
I think the post, I guess so. But I just get kind of bored with those regardless because they all say the same thing pretty much.
Pretty much.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel you on that. Like there's too much Triple H. If you're gonna be behind the scenes, be behind the scenes.